Welcome to uh, uh, my Minecraft launch tutorial, step 2, part 2 on downloading required assets and files for the Minecraft client. As you can see here, I'm just beginning to read the JSON data from the meta over here. As I told you in the last part, and this is how it looks. But we need to actually download the version 1.15.2 and in order to do that we're going to need to going to read this file as actually is a file. You can see here version manifest.json that I believe I told you in the previous part. I can read this, and probably you too if you get time to actually learn JSON, but to make it even easier and to read this, we're going to use a JSON formatter to format this content. So I'm going to do is just right click, no, not right click, click right here. Just click on the uppermost left hand corner and go all the way down. Don't click in the page itself. Then hold in Shift and click once in the lowermost right corner. Now you have selected all text in the file, and we're just going to copy with Ctrl C. I'm going to JSON formatter, which I already have here. I will have the link in the description below, and of course the launch meta as well. I need to paste it in with Ctrl V, and I will click this process. This may take time depending. Yeah, there we go. Do full screen, and I'm going to click full screen here. Here we can see how it should look like when it's formatted. As you can see, it's much more cleaner and more easy to read. You see, we have the beginning of a JSON object, basically the object where everything will be inside of. Then we have a new JSON object with the identifier latest, contains two new JSON objects, two new types, string and two strings with the identifier release and snapshot. We don't want to go there because this latest JSON object will keep updated by Mojang, as it might be in the future 1.16 and maybe 20W23, for example. If you don't know what this means, it means that year 2020, week 21 alpha. That's what it means. Actually date when this snapshot were released, and not actually a version. Anyways, we go over to versions here. It's not a JSON object, it's a JSON array, which we can see because it begins with a square open bracket here. So you can actually close this here, and we don't need to see it. And I want 1.15.2, as you can see here. Just check the ID. It's basically the version of Minecraft. I'm gonna go all the way, not all the way down, but down until I see it. 1.15.2. It is here, and we have the release, and we have the URL here. Now, because I might make it possible to use multi-version support in upcoming steps, I'm going to make a way to actually read file and get the information rather than just copying this JSON file here, URL. So what I'm going to do now is to cross down and go over here and find here 1.15.2. You can see the ID. You can see it's a release. You can see the URL, the time of the release. No, not the time. The time of I don't know actually what time it is. This is the time of the release. I don't know what kind of time this is. Anyways, this information is not really important other than to actually display it on the launcher if you want to. I'm going to do that in the B tutorial if I'm going to do it. Anyways, to then read the JSON, we're going to do a object for it. See here, you can see get. Want to get the JSON array, so JSON get JSON array. And because we knew that, over here we knew that the JSON array had the name versions, we're going to put it exactly how it's named, versions. And I'm going to do a quote, semicolon, colon. Anyways, and do JSON array call versions equals or initialize to object. Hover over and just import. And we'll always have the yellow one line here, as I told you earlier, that because if it is not being used. So yeah. Then we're going to do a loop. This time a for loop, which is mainly made for us to be able to iterate the array, if I'm calling it the right way, to get every single element in the array and check which one is right, or do process on the element basically. And often, if you don't have a specific name, in this case I don't use a specific name, I call my integer I, then identify as I, and you can the identifier will only be viewable in the for loop, not outside it. So first I'm going to initialize it to 0, then I'm going to do I again, and I'm going to check if the I is what's it called, so less than the versions I have the element length versions dot length integer, and if it is, we do I plus plus. Now we have a for loop, and what this basically will do is first initialize the variable I to 0. We'll only do that once. Then we'll check if the version's length, if the integer I is less than the version length, and if it is, it will then do a loop. Then I'm gonna do I'm back. I was telling you that we'll increase the value in the integer I as long as the integer I value is less than the value of the version's length, because when we want to get the object, in this case the JSON object from the JSON array versions, we're going to need to do from 0. So example, if there's 5 objects, it's going to be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. In order to tell us if it is actually 5 or it is 5 objects, it's going to return 5, because somehow say it is empty as well, so that's why it's 0 in length. But when we get it, we must get from 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 objects. So the I here will be maximum 4 and the length to be 5. If it is 5, of course. So in order to begin, we're going ahead and write an if statement to check if. Wait, I want to make it easier, so I can do is just do JSON object, in this case object with ct object equals, actually I can do something like this instead, copy this and just move this object, because we want to be able to use it outside the loop. So is object equals null. We want to initialize the value to something. Oops, not object. We can take object version, for example, and then copy and paste. Nope, we need to do something like this. If so keep it, and do not I, versions, because we look at the JSON object, so just enter the object in the index where the I is in, and then we'll check if versions dot get key, get string here, because here, because we want to get the string, because as long as it's double quotas, it is a string, so we want to get the string inside of identifier ID. You can see the identifier is always on the left side. It's of course bold text. Then it must gray and not bold. What is there's get the string ID. In this case, we will not do equals. We do equals like this. If I can. What is this? Oh, version, not versions. Get string this time. ID must be the same identifier here. Now we can do equals 1.15.2. It's here I will change it if I want multi-version support. Or for now this is good. Then what we'll do is just break. Break will basically break the loop and not loop anymore. And we will also, and something else we want to do is make space here to clean it up. So this step here reads the data, this here gets the information that you want. What you do is to check if it's null. If do it like this, because this is a new step, so check if I can get there. Control space. Oops. There we go. Version equals null. If it equals null, then we'll throw a new exception. Exception. And with this exception, could not example get version data, for example, and with exception we not get MC version data, and if we throw it will crash, and of course it should be debugged. Then when we're done with that, we want to put a new I want to clean here to remove this exception like this, and then we want to new field. This is private, and because it's not only because it's being initialized via the method and not the constructor, we cannot not the final, and I want we need to able to update this URL in case we have example multi-version support. So I'm going to make a just private string version JSON equals empty. For example, I don't want strings to be null. I simply don't like it, basically. Then here I'll go back to here. Then we want to get the URL of the object. So you're going to need to remember the identifier for URL, and then we're going to do this dot to get the field version. No equals not I version version dot get string URL and make sure it's lowercase. It is, so that's good. Now we have the version JSON. We need to class it, and then we will go ahead and we can redo the code in init. This is the first step. We want to check if everything actually is already downloaded. That's going to be done before even this line, but that's I think going to be in part 3. I think. But for now, we went ahead and check and download download files. So, yeah. So we're gonna do this. Download assets. This will not only download the Minecraft assets, but also everything else I told you about earlier, such as the libraries and so on. And that's it. And of course, I want to do one more thing. I want to create a getter. I want to set the for it. Not outside this object. So I'm not going to have no setter. And where is it? Hey, get version JSON. Good. Yeah. Wait. No. This should be done. Instead, what I want to do is get the URL. This should not be done just yet. Instead, it's being JSON object. Because we don't want to get the URLs. We don't want to re-download the content over and over again. We just want to have it stored in the memory. So I'm going to put it over here. There we go. We must have it null. Because you cannot initialize it. And well, you can have actually a new object. Oops, there we go. And why does it always be like that? There we go. So we're going to create a string rel. Then we're going to download. Oops. No, string path instead. And then we're going to back over here. We're going to find. Let's see. Here. Oops. That was allowed. Nope. We want to copy this URL. Just paste over here. As you can see, this is not formatted as well, so I'm going to head and format it. Because this is shorter, I just drag everything instead of just have upper corner, lower corner as I did in earlier. So I'm going to head and reload because I'm going to head and add new JSON data. There we go. That looks cleaner. Okay, good. Okay. I'm gonna head and just close that. Anyways, let's see if path. I'm gonna check if this is URL or path in the drive. So we need to download the file if it's a URL, otherwise we just have to read it. And that's, let's see. Don't know. We'll try that. Anyways, to see it begin. Start with. And we'll start with here. HTTPS. That's a good thing to start with. You can also do this, so we don't have to check for if it's encrypted page or not. But I'm gonna keep this in. This is probably better if you have made yourself your own server. Server for your versions data. But for this tutorial, we're not going to do that. We're going to use Mojang and Forge and Fabric own data, and also our own. So we do this, and we'll see. And data equals equals this, and then we start with HTTPS. You want to then do of course this is supposed to be multi-version support, but for now at the beginning I'm going to do it default for Windows, and then I'm going to redo it in another step, because we want to actually write the code and then format it afterwards to work with, for example, Mac and such on. We're going to do it when we test the launcher. That's the same time we're going to make it work for Mac. So if you're on Mac or, for example, Linux, you're going to be able to test it at the same time as us, so you don't have to be worried if it's not going to work when I write this. Yeah, I'm going to read it. Content, actually, what I did here. The easy thing is just to do like this. And we're going to start like this. But because we don't have a meta, we're going to do a URL data, not data. JSON equals new URL equals path, like that, and that should be raw data, and it should be it is, and we'll add throws declaration, just throws, and then what we do is write it to a file. Oopsie daisy. What happened? Come on, what? Okay, whatever. File. We can call it jar. No. File. Path 4. Then we're gonna do a new file again. File. This will point to where we actually store it. In this case, oopsie daisy. Sorry. In this case, your in Windows, for example, updata.minecraft bin and then version.gc on, if for old version of Minecraft, and of course it's different in Mac and Linux. Which will of course be fixed later. Can do is prepare it. I mean, is dot get we don't please get launcher.gr. You don't have to prepare it actually. Let's put this. So launcher.gr is actually the same as name plus launcher directory. So and wait. Oh, path. Get path plus bin and wait. Version file. Now we have the file and first. path, and we want to create a new file so you can use it. And what I want to do is make a check. Throw the exception. This time IO exception because it is an IO. Oops. And we want to pay. Plus, and we do already exist problem. So sorry, exception will already exist. And wait, right, like this. So if we can't create a new file, it means they already exist, and it will throw an exception. Yep. And then I want to get it's an object. Actually, we can test it now even if we haven't set it up for Mac and Linux, because it is not so big that we need to check everything to make sure. Because the only time we actually check for the path, that's here, just here, nowhere else. And we're only going to need to test the download, and we're only going to test if it works on the directory. So that's not important right now. We're going to put it's called version and equals new. What do I have data for? Oh, the data it's for okay, got it. So new is an object and new string, and of course the raw data. There we go. And then we also want to write file, and this time we can write it using the JSON itself. Write, and before I go to that, we'll make a file writer. So file writer equals a new file writer, and just be the file path. That's super weird. Maybe because I didn't import it. Anyways, path import that factor 1. I think I do yes 0. Oops. 0. Then we'll do is fb flush, and of course, oops. And fb close. So what I want to do is create something. Here, data is the URL of it, so you need data equals what path to path. That's what I want it to be. So Wait, I mean get path, not to path. There we go. Control S for saving, of course. And to check, we're gonna add a new class. The class we can call that new class main and may. Finish. And in here we do control space again and create the main method here. This is where we're going to test everything, so I'm going to go ahead and do a new diamond and we import. And in order for us to crash, we do is false in new file. And this location for now you're going to put wherever you want. I'm going to go ahead and choose well, my dev part. No, tutorial was it? No, it was not. Or was it? No. Where were I? I think it wasn't. Anyways, I'm going to create a new folder instead. New folder, I'll call it TMP directory. And this one, and put it in here. For now, I don't know what to do is version and name. So the version can be 0.0.1 and the name can be mod for now. And then want to right click on the main Java file here and click run as Java application. It's terminated and go to here. It in. Oh, I forgot to put init void. There we go. And I want to throw here for now at least, and then do it. Where did I go wrong? Here. Data in. Let's do a test fix here. This is how I debug system. System.out .print line. There we go. See if something went wrong. That's strange. Check the line. What? Indeterminate string at all. That doesn't make sense. Hey, maybe if we do open connection. I think that's what we had to do instead. I think just open the stream with open the connection. I don't think it will work properly well. The connection open and then we can try that, and I need to do the exactly the same thing over here. So open connection dot get input stream. I think that's what we do. Let's see. No, still not. I don't know what's. Let's do. I think it's. I don't think that's the right thing to do here because What was it again? Okay, I think it's wrong over here because it's not officially working. So I have to rewrite it here. This is easy for me to rewrite, so I'm going to do that. So how do you rewrite it? Something I think was do something like this. I'm going to close this into here. Input stream reader. Put stream reader equals a new input stream reader equals. It's going to be a long part. Already and half an hour long. So what will this print? Nope. Import it first. Import. There we go. And it will need an input stream. Let me put that in. That. Here inputs. Let's see. Getting. Oops. Okay. Then we need to say buffer reader. I think because it's so big, you can use that simple way for me to use. I have to rewrite it. Just follow me when I rewrite it. This is first reading input stream because buffer reader requires input stream reader. So, and we do that. Input stream reader equals new. And port reader. Wow. Anyways. Actually, can I do scanner instead? Let's try that because I think that is. I'm gonna do is do this because I think scan instead. Let's get that go. And with scanner, equals scanner. I think that will work. And import data. Therefore, we can do straight up here instead. Of course. And then we have while. Oops. This time a while loop. So while scanner dot has next line. Or I mean has next. And data equals data plus next, and I will do that until it's done. And if it doesn't done, here we'll do a scanner. Wait, scanner close, and that's it. Okay, I'm gonna try this. Here. Raw data again. data. And right data. And let's see if this works. Oh, probably should. Yeah, let's test it. Wait, it is in here. Here. Oh, this file. Yeah, we're here. I'm making directories. See over here, but I have to do some changes before I can do that. And that's a bit annoying, but for now we can do. Instead of making the directories, we're gonna make this directory like this. For now, and you accept. Instead, we can do. Instead, I think it's better if you just do new file, and before the version, use a new copy content here. Oops. What's it? Oh wait. This. There we go. Like that, and it's just make. Now we can make directories. So we can make all the directories that's missing. Now it should work. What they did, that's what that's the only thing I did. Let me change this, I think, and we can test it. Let's see. Did I forget to delete it or not? I forgot to delete it. Yeah, I remember. I did a test earlier and I didn't delete it. Let's go delete. So it work now. There we go. And here we have the bin and we have the version file. Using Notepad++. See, and it works. Looks so much better here. It's even formatted. Artifact. That's the problem. I don't know why, but somehow it's. Anyway, yeah, forgot to. But that's how it's supposed to look like. Probably need to change it, but otherwise, it looks pretty good. And we're done for now at least. So, thank you for watching.